Yes, yes. What is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Network coming at you with another edition of the Unscripted Sportscast. We are in the house. Coming back at you after week 15 of the NFL. We got the top storylines. We're going to do a little Heisman talk as well. We got a lot of stuff going on this week, and I needed to give it to you right and straight, man. As of course, the realest, illest takes in the game. No bullshit and no fakeness, especially no wokeness. All right, we got the audio check on X and all the other platforms. We're good to go, and let's get to it. Let's get to it, man. For the first time since 2015, the Chiefs have been eliminated from the playoffs. The first time ever in the Patrick Mahomes era, and it sucks because it ends with adding insult to injury. No pun intended. Mahomes gets injured right in the fourth quarter as they were making their game. Their drive to tie the game or win it, and boom, gets hurt, torn ACL. A really, really different season for the Patriot Sports. What's up? What's up, brother? How you doing, man? It's my boy Chris from Patriot Sports Pod. How's it going, my man? Let me go ahead and shout him out here. Appreciate you, buddy. It's been a minute. There you go. Yeah, that was hard to watch, man. They just it's more of a retool when you have Patrick Mahomes in the house, right? It's always a retool, not a rebuild when you have that caliber of quarterback, kind of like Brady, right? The Brady years when you didn't need to rebuild, just retool around Brady. That's all you need. You got Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. There will be more Travis Kelce's and other Tyreek Hills to come and play with him. So it was weird, right? It's one of those seasons that, unlike last season, where they won most of the games by 1 point, the calls were not going this way, their way this year. That's a big difference between this season and last season for the Chiefs. The Chiefs last season, not that much different. Same team, right? Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown, Rashid Rice. On the Rashid Rice was suspended for the first 6 games, but same personnel. Not a lot of difference in the game. They even added a couple of rookies. Year 2, Xavier Worthy. Kareem Hunt was playing great. Again, it's just one of those things that, unlike last year, they were getting the calls. This year, every single call was not going their way. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but there was a lot of calls they're not getting this season that they got last year. Go to the comments here. Yep, I was going to say Bill Belichick always did a good job with that. Absolutely. I think Andy Reid is going to retool. That team is going to be back next season. They just got to worry about Patrick Mahomes getting healthy at the right time and not rushing him, which, the way these torn ACLs for these athletes nowadays get rebuilt and recovered, it's faster than ever. So great comment, by the way, there, Chris. Appreciate that. Patriot Sports Pod. Great podcast, bro. Check them out. But yeah, again, that's a big difference this year. Patrick Mahomes hasn't, the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes have not gotten the calls that they've got last year. And that's the reason for the record, 6-8, eliminated from the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. It's crazy. When you look at this particular stat, right? I mean, let's go back here. I got a graphic here. Let me pop this one up. Man. We got a lot of stuff that we got to go over here today. Let me pop this one up here. Here we go. Look at this. Check it out. Take a look at this right here. Let's share this one instead here. Boom. Oh, come on. Don't tell me the internet is bugging today. Look at this. Here you go. Look at this. Check it out. So that's the graphic right here. Look. 2018 AFC Championship. 2019 AFC Championship. 2020 AFC Championship. AFC Championship all the way to 2024. 2025, they missed the playoffs. That is an impressive streak. Streak that has only been done maybe once before. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Again, just like my boy Patriot Spot said, it's a retool, not a rebuild. And sometimes this has to happen to dynasties, right? It's a pause, more or less, right? Not an ending. And it has to happen to certain dynasties. It happened to Brady, right? Well, after the Randy Moss era, they had to retool and start playing a little different, right? That's when Brady, before that, 5 years later, he really started taking care of his body. I think this is going to be one of those things where Patrick Mahomes is going to, after this injury, he's going to see his lifestyle, health-wise, a little different. I'm not saying the guy is unhealthy or out of shape, But it's one of those things that the way that he plays and the injuries and the banging and the way that he just plays, he'll start looking at his body a little different and probably taking care of it more, just like the greats do. There's no doubt about it because he is one of the greats. He is one of the greats. So, again, the dynasty is not over, my friends. It's just a pause for a season at least, and they're absolutely gonna be back. Let's stay on this ongoing elimination trend here. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going on this elimination trend because we had another team that was eliminated. All right, even though we knew they were going to get eliminated because they were playing like shit all season, especially with all the injuries. But the other team that gets eliminated yesterday out of playoff contention were your Cincinnati Bengals. You know, it's a shame. The Cincinnati Bengals are a team that there was high hopes coming into the season, right? Let me go back. Let me get the graphic real quick. It was high hopes right now coming into the season, and you know, they were shut out completely by the Ravens. The Ravens who are finding a little bit of life right now, right? With oh my gosh, with Lamar Jackson getting healthy, right? I don't think this team is going to do much damage in the playoffs, but think about this. It's going to be one of those things where Lamar Jackson is healthier now. He looked a little bit better yesterday. They completely dominated the Bengals. The Bengals back-to-back losses, especially after a week where the Bengals had the game under control and the Bills came back down by when they were up down by 18. But it was one of those games, man, it was ugly. Burrow, 2 picks. You could tell he's not 100%. And it's not surprising. Lamar Jackson looked his best, even though it didn't show because he didn't really do a lot. I mean, it's a bad weather. 8 for 12, threw an interception, threw for 2 touchdowns. But what we saw from Lamar was a little more decisiveness with the run, 26 rushing yards. Again, easy matchup for them. The Baltimore Ravens are 7-7. Let's see what happens tonight with the Steelers and Dolphins. It's pretty much a division that's still AFC North, still alive, and the Ravens are still alive. Barely, but they're still alive in the playoff hunt and in that division as well. I mean, if we know the Bengals are dead in the water. We'll get to that later. Right? The Bengals are dead in the water for sure. We'll know now that the Browns are not going anywhere. It's all up to the Ravens and the Steelers to win the division. And it's going to be one of those divisions that 9 wins are going to win it. It's pretty ugly. It's pretty ugly. But the Bengals eliminated. Now you got 2 of the great quarterbacks in the league, not in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes and Joey Buckets and Joe Burrow. AFC, 2 top teams that would usually 2 quarterbacks that would make it very difficult for other teams to be successful in the playoffs are not in the playoffs any longer. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. This has just opened up the entire field in the AFC. Opened up the entire field in the AFC. But the Ravens stay alive. They're stay alive. Let's see what happens today with the Steelers against the Dolphins. Steelers should win that decisively. But, Dolphins are just spoilings right now. They're really spoiling. Let's see what else we got here. Let's jump on to the next. And here, let me go in order here. And talking about studs, dude. Come on, man. Josh Allen is that guy. Back-to-back weeks, statement wins, come from behind wins. Down by 21 against the Patriots, who are the darling of the AFC East. But right now, the effing Bills are in it to win it. 1 game separates them after the New England Patriots dominating. Yes, I get it. Soft schedule. But Drake May is the real deal. But Drake May needs to understand that as long as there's a guy named Josh Allen on the other side, and he plays with that momentum when his games are on the line, Josh Allen goes crazy mode. 3 touchdowns in the snow, 193. Josh Allen rushed for 48 yards. Crazy. Look, Drake May, nothing to sneeze about. 43 yards rushing and rushed for 2 touchdowns himself. Had that costly pick. 155, not costly because it was more like a punt, but for 155, he's one of the most accurate passers, and his accuracy was really bad this past game. Shout out to the Bills. But again, they were down. They were down by like 18. All right. And the Bills do it again, back-to-back weeks. They're making a statement. They're making a freaking statement, man. The standings right now, that division is still up for grabs. Everybody thought it was New England. But listen, 11-3 for New England and 10-4, they're going to have to wait to clinch a playoff or the division a couple of more weeks. But the Buffaloes are very much alive. And that Josh Allen is that effing dude. He is that guy. And with Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow out of the race, right now, Josh Allen has the best opportunity to make it to the Super Bowl. He is the best quarterback in that conference. Best quarterback in that division. Hey, Drake May is coming up, but Josh Allen is still Josh Allen's division. And honestly, with Patrick Mahomes out of the way and Joe Burrows, who have their numbers in the playoffs, who has Josh Allen's number in the playoffs, guess what? It's Josh Allen's turn. And I think there's no more excuses. It's time for Josh Allen to take his Josh Allen greatness into the playoffs, run them tables, get to the Super Bowl. Best opportunity and the best position Josh Allen and the Bills have been to make a run to the Super Bowl is this year. No Patrick Mahomes, no Joe Burrows. It's Josh Allen's time. I love Josh Allen. He's that dude. He's a gamer. The dude is just, he plays with heart, right? Not a lot of support offensively. He just wills his teams over and over again. Great quarterback. One of the best quarterbacks in the league. But it's time to put up and shut up. You don't have the two top dogs that have his number in the playoffs. It's for him now to take that next step. Get over the hump. All right, and lead the AFC into the Super Bowl. But Josh Allen's just that dude. He's an animal. He's an animal. I'm telling you, man, it's rare territories, bro. I think I saw some graphic that for the first time, I forget how long. It's like 2015, I think, or it's 2016. I don't know. It's like the last 10 years. The first time I think Brady, Mahomes, and I think even Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning's been retired now for a while, but he was around in 2018, I think, that they haven't been in the playoffs. There hasn't been a Manning, a Brady, or a Mahomes in the playoffs. Pretty wild number. Pretty wild number. All right, what else do we got here? All right, we got Josh Allen is that dude, man. He is that dude. Forget about it. Forget about it. Let's talk about domination here. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Not going to lie to you, but the Bears are looking good. The Bears had a solid game. I'm not surprised. They spank Shedeur Sanders. All right. And the Browns this week. And not here to bash Shedeur. I gave him his flowers last week, right? I said there's a small sample size. My last final grade is going to be just based on what happens at the end of the season. He faced probably the number one defense in the NFL. We all knew it was going to be a very, very tough assignment for Shedeur. And I'm gonna give Shedeur some credit here this week. 3 picks, I get it. One of those was a touchdown. Jerry Jeudy's fault. I'm not gonna regurgitate what all the media is saying. But what I did like about Shedeur, he has that gamer in him, right? Regardless of the flaws that he has, which is slow release, holding too long to the ball. He's a rookie. I get it. It's part of the experience. And we all knew that come from college, right? But for not having a strong arm, he made a couple of passes with nothing to move the chains. Now, the Chicago Bears defense is tough, man. Even a quarterback like Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes is going to struggle against this defense. But I give him credit. Yeah. Again, quarterback rating low, completion percentage low. They knocked him on his ass. I wasn't expecting Shedeur to go out there and repeat what he did against the Raiders or even what he did against the Titans the weeks before. You know what I'm saying? This is going to happen. This Browns team is not great. And Shedeur is not the guy with the experience of the tools in his bag yet to kind of have enough talent, all right, or enough of the savviness or the experience to kind of like maintain himself, to stay in the game with the caliber defense of the Bears. I'm not surprised he got his ass kicked. Anybody would against the Bears. Again, small sample size. We're in game 4, right? Shedeur is showing some promise, though, that he still deserves to finish the season as a starting quarterback. And depending what happens in the next 3 weeks or 2 weeks, it's going to determine where the Browns seriously think about maybe we don't need to draft a quarterback next year's draft. We have our guy. Honestly, because Deshaun Watson ain't it. But Caleb Williams, monster game, 242 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He had an insane pass back leg to DJ Moore over 2 defenders. That was just, I was out of this world. It was a play that you do it because you have athleticism and the arm angle capability to do that. And you know what? He's able to sneak it through defenders. That takes a lot of balls and takes a lot of skill as well. Again, the Bears, a poor men's offense, a poor men's Lions offense, right? DeAndre Swift, 98 rushing yards, 11 carries, 11 for Monangai, 33. Swift had 2 touchdowns. All right, Luther Burden is like getting a lot of targets now. Had 7 targets, led the team in targets again, 84 yards, 6 receptions. DJ Moore is still a good player. All right, Colston Loveland is just getting more and more acclimated and involved in the offense. This is a really dangerous team. Dangerous team. And they did what they were supposed to do, beat a bad team. The Browns are a bad team. Nobody can say they're good. They just have a really great defense and a great player in Myles Garrett. That's it. The greatness of the Browns is their defense and Myles Garrett. Everything out of that, it's a crapshoot. But the Bears, no joke. I believe they take over first place again, right? With the Packers losing last night. Let's go to the standings here, boys and girls. Let's go to the standings real quick. So right now, let's take a look at that division. All right, let's go. Oh, where are we? Yeah, the Bears are taking over first place at 10-4. All right, and we'll talk a little more about the Lions later. Struggling Lions, by the way. Struggling freaking Lions. What do we have next? Shout out to the Bear and Nail Boy, Caleb Williams, who are still killing it, dude. All right, let me go back here to my lineup. Let me take a look. Oh, man. What do you guys think of let me tell you something. There's a dark horse in this race. Staying in the AFC. Now that you got the best quarterback in the game out of it. Probably another good quarterback and Joe Burrow's out of it. This Texans team is dangerous. This is my dark horse. This is my dark horse of the in the playoffs. I'm going to tell you why. Number 1 defense in the league as well. C.J. Stroud is finally back to the rookie year of C.J. Stroud. It took him about a year and a half to get back to that mode. Oh, hold on a second. Wrong scores here. Sorry about that, guys. Let me get back. Let me get the box score here for the I got excited. I got into the next game here. Let me get to the box score here of the Cardinals and Texans. C.J. Stroud, another 200 plus, 200 over 240 yard passing game, 3 touchdowns, 22 for 29, commanding throws again. Nico Collins is back. Dalton Schultz is playing amazing. He's found himself a nice little number 2 in Jaden Higgins, even though it didn't show this time around. Running back in Woody Marks. All right. Jawar Johnson, 15 carries, 101 yards. Their defense is top notch. And CJ is playing some really good ball. This defense, and they have enough offense, and they have a really good quarterback in order to make some noise here. And they are my dark horse in the AFC. Come at me if you think different. This is a team that nobody wants to mess with. They will make the playoffs. I think they win next week. They may clinch a playoff spot. This is a team you don't want to mess with in the playoffs. Brutal defense, and then they have a quarterback, high IQ, has the tools, is fully healthy now, and he's a problem. That same C.J. Stroud that went to the sophomore hiccups is now back to 100%. This dude is nasty. And this team can upset some cards here, man. I know you got, I know it's the team that can upset the Patriots. They can't beat the Bills. This is a very tough team and a scary team to mess with. They have a very strong possibility to run the tables and make it to the Super Bowl as well. I know. I'm crazy. No, I'm not. Well-coached team. Got that playoff built to them. And they have experience because they made the playoffs 2 years in a row. So it's not a team that's going in there fresh. Their quarterback has been there twice. So is their defense. Their defense, Will Anderson and everybody else, they are a scary team. Don't sleep on the Houston Texans. They are a dark horse in this year's playoffs. It is what it is. Take that to the bank. Take that to the bank, yo. And talking about taking something to the bank, yo. Shoot, man. You know what? Let's talk. Let's talk Phillip Rivers over here.
Rivers down the middle of the field, and it is intercepted, deflected and picked off by Kobe Bryant.
Uncle Phil tried, bro. Uncle Phil tried. All right, Uncle Phil tried. He threw for a touchdown. He passed for about 160 yards, something like that. Look, this is insane that a 44-year-old man at one point had his team in a position and in the lead in the last minutes to win the game. All right, let me go to a stat line real quick here. I'm not going to spend too much time on Uncle Phil because everybody's been beating this story to death. But yeah, he had himself a game. You're looking at, let me see here. Hold on a second. Come on, where are you at? 18 for 27, not great. 120 yards passing, one touchdown. That was a good throw to a wide open Josh Downs, and a pick. That was the pick right there towards the last. But he had his team in a position, man. I mean, to actually win it. He's got to get the start next week. That's crazy. Now they're going to go with him over Riley Leonard again. I thought Riley Leonard was just injured. I don't know. I just don't think they don't trust Riley Leonard. But it's a good story. He's a good dude, man. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those great dudes in the game. Let's take a look and look at the press conference. And this is the message he has to deliver.
Well, this isn't the motivation, but I do think that maybe there'll be, I think about my own boys, my own two sons, but certainly it was a high school team I'm coaching, but this isn't why I'm doing it. Again, this is really, I know it comes with it, and I know it is a story, and I know it is rare and all those things, but I didn't do that. I wasn't searching. I was enjoying myself kind of down there being coach in South Alabama, but these kind of things don't come up. But obviously this doesn't come up every day, but I think maybe maybe it will, I don't know, inspire or teach, not to run or be scared of what may or may not happen, Hopefully, certainly I think of my sons and those ball players, that I'm in charge of at the school, that they'll say, like, crap, coach wasn't scared. You know what I mean? It's like, shoot, sometimes there is doubt, and it's real. And again, you can the guaranteed safe bet is to go home or to not go for it, and the other one is shoot. Let's see what happens, And so
that's a great message, right? Don't be scared. Don't be afraid of the moment. If a man that my age at 44, who's been removed from the game, took a shot and held his own, it should teach all these young guys that what determination, willpower, right, hard work can get you. It's a good message. He's such a great guy. He is one of the best on and off the field players in the history of this game. Let's finish the clip.
I hope that in that sense that it can be a positive to some young boys, or young people. It doesn't have to be boys, but again, that's not the motivation. But whatever God's will, I'm happy with. But certainly going to quickly turn my attention to the 49ers, and I know it'll be a Monday night game. And hopefully, Lucas Oil is rocking. I never got to experience that either, in that COVID year. And we're going to scratch and fight and claw. I do know that, and not because I'm here, but I do know that any team I have ever been a part of, not because of me, but I've been a part of, will fight like crazy until they tell us the season's over. And so you can guarantee that for the next 3 weeks. Well, this isn't the motivation, but I do.
He's such a great guy, man. And I get it, man. I know he's not probably the youngest. Cam is bitching about it. You feel disrespected. Here's the thing, Cam. Here's a guy that commands leadership. You don't. Phillip Rivers does. and is a guy that the locker room wants to be around. He's a leader of men, a builder of men, of young men to be exact. Father, as a coach, as a Christian. And this is all big values and reasons why the Colts gave him the call, in addition for him knowing the playbook pretty well, and not you. He's just a great all-around individual on and off the field. That's a reason why he is quarterback in this team at 44 years old, 4 years removed from the game. So shout out to Phillip Rivers, man. He deserves everything he gets. He's a really good guy. There's no doubt about it. That's what it is. He's a really good guy, man. You know what's funny? Here, let's listen to.
We are destroying this team.
The pizza boy, Dave Portnoy, one of the biggest douches in the sports industry, really one of the reasons why the Patriots lost, because of this kind of crap.
We are destroying this team. Underdog, we were underdogs going into this game. I don't want to get too cocky. I don't want to get too loud. But nobody knows championship football more than this guy, more than these fans. I've seen it. I have 6 rings. And you're telling me Buffalo's better than us? This is our division. This is our league. And we're back. We're not beating this team. We're demolishing this team. And seriously, Buffalo, I feel bad. I feel bad for the people of Buffalo. You've waited. You've been on the doorstep. Josh Allen, great guy. It's over. You little whatever that was, it's over. The champs are here.
Unfortunately, dude, Josh Allen is that guy. People like this, who he's doing it for clout, of course, right? He had a bunch of videos afterwards when he lost it. But guys like him, they do this for clout. They do this for the clicks. They do this to get their company, right? It makes their company money. It makes Barstool money, right? That's been the fame, right? Barstool, the kind of issue. I don't blame him for that. It's his livelihood. But there's a rule, man, in sports. Don't celebrate too early. When you celebrate too early, karma's a bitch, and he comes back to bite you. And that's what happened. That's what happened to the damn Patriots. Because blame Dave Portnoy for being such a freaking hater and a troll. That's exactly what happened here, man. All right. Blame Dave Portnoy. If anybody in New England wants to be upset, blame Dave Portnoy for this crap. All right, let's move on to I forgot to play that clip when I was doing the Patriots piece there. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot more stuff to cover, man. Let's talk about some playoff clinchers here, my friends. And the first one is the Rams. The Rams clinch the playoffs. The Rams started a little shaky, but, they put it on cruise control. At one point, they were down against the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions made a nice push, but then after that is too much damn Matthew Stafford. And that's with a banged up Devontae Adams who went out. Puka got banged up a little bit and ended up going out, but had a monster game. Jared Goff had himself an unbelievable game. 3 touchdowns, 338 yards. Amon St. Brown, 13 receptions, 164 yards, and 2 touchdowns. There was some leagues being won yesterday. But here's the story of the game. Jameer was kept on check, and so was David Montgomery. Running game non-existent, which is a big part of their offense. And also, Jameer or David Montgomery had no receiving yards, especially Jameer Gibbs, who is that type of back. Jameer just doesn't give it to you on the ground, but also catches the football. He's like a McCaffrey kind of back, right? That's how you kind of like, I know they still put up 34 points, but that's shutting that offense down. The Rams, Matthew again, 368 yards, 2 touchdowns, threw for a pick. We was like, oh, here we go. Matthew Stafford is regressing. No, but then after that, he shut it down. Kyron Williams, 78 yards rushing. Kyron Williams and Blake Corum together are becoming the new Jameer Gibbs and Montgomery, the new Sonic and Knuckles, right? That's kind of like where we are at right now. New Sonic and Knuckles of this NFL is Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. They're both banging the shit out of it. I mean, 78 yards rushing for Kyron Williams and 2 touchdowns, and Blake Corum had another rushing touchdown. I mean, they average over almost 6 yards per carry combined. That's crazy. Puka, 181 receiving yards, 9 receptions. Colby Parkinson, taking advantage. 75 receiving yards, 2 tutties. Devontae Adams still, he's hurt. He's day to day. 71 yards, 4 receptions. He's a league leading receiver in touchdowns and has been quiet in the last couple of games. That's because he's been humble. But this is a dangerous team, and this is a team that have just clinched the playoffs. Watch out. To me, right now, they should be the odds-on favorite. They should be the odds-on favorite. They clinch the playoffs. They should be the odds-on favorite, right? I don't, who else thinks that is not? That's not a thing. I think they clinch, and they're the odds-on favorite in my book. I said it last week. Matthew Stafford, him and Drake May are still my front runners for the MVP. I think Josh Allen has made a little dark horse move in there, depending on how he finishes the season, because the guy still has like 35 total touchdowns. It's crazy. It's crazy. But another clincher, man. The Rams clinched the playoffs. And the Rams are not the only team that clinched the playoffs. All right. We have a team right now that's won 11 games in a row. Where they're at is the Broncos. Broncos have won 11 straight. All right. 11 straight. They've clinched a playoff spot. Probably going to win the division just like the Rams. Well, that division is still up for grabs, bro, because it's crazy. The 49ers and the Seahawks both won. That's a tough division where the Rams are. They got the most offense. They might not even win the division, but they clinched the playoffs at least. But let's talk about the what the heck are the let me look at the box score here for the Denver. The heck is the Denver? Where's the Denver game, damn it? And the Packers. Big win, by the way. The Packers battled. They led for a while, but huge game by Bo Nix. 302 yards and 4 touchdowns. Huge game by Bo Nix. And this is a quarterback that, hey, he will get hot at one point, but he's spreading the football around. Lil Jordan Humphrey is back with the team, a touchdown. Troy Franklin, another touchdown. Cortland Sutton, over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown. When he's slinging the ball like this, and they're getting decent productivity from the ground, they're dangerous. Josh Jacobs had himself a monster game. Rushed for a touchdown. Caught a touchdown as well, the only receiving touchdown. And Jordan Love, just had a couple of picks. You can't do that. You can't do that against a team like the Broncos. Broncos are another team that have a top-notch defense, and Bo Nix is that type of quarterback that Sean Payton loves and is, killing it. Again, the makeup of the AFC now, of the NFC, I'm sorry, it's a little different. Let me go look at the standings here. It's a little different here, guys. You no longer have Burrow in the mix or Patrick Mahomes especially, who is the one that's been crushing all these teams. But Denver Broncos are 2 games on top of the Los Angeles Chargers. And again, why not one of the favorites? Could be one of the favorites. This year is going to be interesting. There's going to be a new AFC Super Bowl contender. All right. They're going to be a new AFC Super Bowl contender because the Lions right now, the Lions are struggling, man. They're struggling. Minnesota's eliminated. However, the Lions are struggling. Absolutely struggling. And they might not even make the playoffs. The Denver Broncos are a tough out, man. Week after week. It is what it is. It is what it is. But Bo Nix is kind of that dude as well. He is kind of that dude as well, man. I was going to talk a little bit about what's his name, but I'm not going to do that. But before I go on to my last and my closing subject here, I want to put this up. So, according to FanDuel or the stats here, let me see who according to who. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up, which I found kind of wild. But Trevor Lawrence supposedly had the best game in the history of the NFL. Trevor Lawrence just had the best game in the NFL history. Nobody in the league has ever passed for 300 plus yards, 5 passing touchdowns, 50 plus rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown in one game until yesterday, where Trevor Lawrence became that dude for the first time in the history of the league. They're up right now on top of that division, but the Texans are lurking right behind them. Yo, hold on, I was gonna go to the stats here, but the last night, I mean, they destroyed the Jets. I mean, and knowingly so. We knew that was gonna happen. Let me go back to the box score here. But Trevor Lawrence, who has had a great season, has had probably one of the, I think it's right now is heading to be one of his best seasons. Probably that season that they made the playoffs, they got him signed. I think he's on borderline having that season overlapping that season. But this dude had, let me see here. Let's look at the stats here. 330 passing yards, 20 for 32, 5 tutties, passing touchdowns. Oh my gosh, he rushed for a touchdown and had 51 rushing yards. First player ever to do that. 300 plus passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdowns, and over 50 rushing yards. Wow, that's a stat that blew my mind. And the fact that sunshine, I can't make the veer, Rev. I can't make the veer. Is the first man. That's pretty impressive. But look, Duval. Shout out to the coach, man. He has these boys playing hungry and exciting football. Yeah, they did the right thing. They destroyed a bad team. So shout out to Brady Cook from the Jets, who had 3 picks and undrafted rookie, had his first start, but still had a nice touchdown. That Jets team is a fucking disaster. I don't know what you're gonna do with the Jets, but they're just a disaster. They're just a disaster. All right, let's stay on this topic here. The Vikings officially are eliminated. But that being said, 9 is playing his best football right now. All right, my man in the last couple of games has been pretty good. I think he still sucks as a quarterback, and I don't know. He's a Shedeur book. He's in the Shedeur stage. I need to see more. He's got more starts. But J.J. McCarthy over the last 2 games, 9, his alter ego. He's 2-0, completion percentage in the 70s, 448 total yards, and 6 total touchdowns and 1 INT. Okay. Let's see what happens. I mean, it was against the Cowboys, who had been eliminated from the playoffs as well. You know, soft secondary, soft defense. But it's all right. You know, we don't have to hate on that. We don't. All right, guys, let's see what we got here. What do we have here left on the plate, man? Let's talk a little bit of Heisman talk here. So you'll know this past weekend, we had the Heisman ceremony, and shout out to Fernando Mendoza from the 305. You know what I'm saying? From the 305. Miami product. He won the Heisman. Indiana's first Heisman winner ever. Indiana first undefeated season. 2-star recruit out of high school. Columbus High School, the pride of them private school boys. Lots of money in that school, even though he doesn't come from money. Probably a walk-on scholarship. But I shout out to him. I'm a fan, right? Because I'm biased. He's a Cuban American, just like I am. You know, and the first time ever a Cuban American has won in this type of sport. He comes from a good family. I'm a fan of that. Good Christian dude. I'm a fan of that. Love the speech. He went out there, how he interpreted himself, how he thanked his entire family. His mother was, you know, battling MS. His dad, you know, his brothers, his grandparents who immigrated here from Cuba, and he's the reason why. If the grandparents never immigrated from a communist country, you would not be seeing Fernando Mendoza winning a guy from Miami, a Cuban American winning a damn Heisman in Indiana of all places. That's why this country is great. So shout out to him. Now, on the other hand, Diego Pavia, who honestly, this kid is Shedeur vibes all over the damn place. You know, he feels he should have won the Heisman, right? Been talking smack, been partying, doing podcasts all week. He posted this on his Instagram right after the ceremony. F all the voters, but family for life. I'm assuming these are his teammates and shit, right? That's kind of the first. This one sign, another sign that tells you that the right guy wants the Heisman in Fernando Mendoza, not Diego Pavia. All right. That's one. And then he goes out and parties. You know, hey, I don't mind. I don't care if you guys party, bro. I think these kids earn to the stress, right? And all that kind of crap. Hold on a second. Let me go back out. They could burn some steam, bro. They got money, right? These kids are making NIL money. Hey, I don't mind it, but he goes out, parties and stuff, right? And here you go. He orders one of those cakes, signs whatever the heck it is. Let's see, can you guys see that? I wish I could. Let me make this a little bigger. And this is what it, on the display, what it said. Right there. Fuck Indiana. He's out there, the middle fingers. Got some good looking hoes with him. But look at this. Again, in a quarterback, I like to see leadership. I like to see maturity, especially when you go into the NFL. I know all these kids are going to make mistakes, right? I know they got money right now. They got money right now, you know, from the NIL. They got a little son. But a leadership on the field is a guy you also look for the qualities off the field. This guy hasn't even made the league yet. He's not even, to be honest with you, he doesn't have the tools to make him a lottery pick. This guy is he's not even going to start his rookie season. He's going to fall in the draft like there's no tomorrow, just based on skill, size. Just, he's not your typical quarterback. And after showing this lack of maturity, it's going to make him even drop more. All right. And the upcoming draft. This is not the guy you want leading your football team. Shout out. Good luck and shout out to him. He will have a successful league in the Canadian Football League. He will have a successful career in the Canadian Football League, but not in the NFL. One guy spent the week worshiping and praying, raising money for multiple sclerosis, for MS. All right, working out. While the other one went to podcast, promoting his brand. I mean, I don't mind that, and then, you know, he gets butthurt because he didn't win. This right here are three great signs why Fernando Mendoza was the right man to be giving the trophy, in addition to his great season. Good luck, Diego. Have fun in Canada freezing your ass off at the CFL. Woo! That's all I got, baby. I told you I had a lot of bullets today. I don't think I missed anything. I had some more stuff in there, but I think I like to keep it, when I'm solo, I like to keep it under an hour. So shout out to everybody, baby. I appreciate you all the listens, all the downloads, all the views. Thank you very much. I love the response on my TikTok channel with all my shorts and also on YouTube. Again, appreciate it. Cigars and Sports. Me and Jim will be back at it probably after Christmas. Like I said, man, my schedule is so booked. Got a lot of stuff going on. Next weekend is another packed weekend. More Christmas festivities, parties, Christmas parties, and then also we got more venues to go see on Fridays and Saturdays. So, but me and my man Jim will be back at it probably that weekend after Christmas. Shout out everybody. I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. This is your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast signing out, yo. Peace. Thank you. Yo.